Hi everyone, I'm Bhavna. Today, I have a counterintuitive idea to share with you. What if our most serious problems require our least serious solutions? What if the key to healing isn't found in more therapy or self-reflection, but in something that we were taught to leave behind in childhood? Play. Think about the last time you heard someone say, "This is serious, stop playing around." This concept represents one of our culture's deepest held beliefs, that seriousness solves problems and play distracts from them. In my decade as a clinical counselor, I've had a front row seat to these patterns. And what I've learned is something remarkable. Those who thrive aren't necessarily those that approach their problems with more seriousness, but those that also embrace the power of play. Now, the professional part of me wants to jump straight into definitions, frameworks, and research because, in my brain, the jargon somehow makes the point more valid. But the truth is, I came to this topic through my own crisis of seriousness. At one point, my calendar looked like a game of Tetris designed by someone that hates fun. And I was proud of it, until I wasn't. It happened when my 6-year-old nephew visited and insisted on building a fort right in the middle of a workday. He was holding this fluffy big bear and wearing these Mickey Mouse ears, and I couldn't resist. But I kept checking my phone until he took it and hid it. 2 hours later, I'd completely lost track of time. And for the first time in months, my shoulders weren't touching my ears. Later that weekend, I canceled 3 important commitments, went hiking, and had the breakthrough idea that solved a project I've been stuck on for weeks. And later, digging into the research, I found study after study showing me what my nephew instinctively already knew. That play isn't just what happens when work is done, it's what makes work and life possible in the first place. We've created a world where play is relegated to childhood or designated leisure time and is a luxury, a distraction, something we, productive adults, simply don't have time for. But what if this belief has led to a crisis of disconnection so deep that no amount of conventional therapy or self-help can address it on its own? This question led me to the groundbreaking work of Dr. Stuart Brown, a psychiatrist and researcher who's been studying play for decades. His work led me to an eye-opening reframe. What if play isn't just fun, but actually a biological necessity as critical to health as sleep or nutrition? Before I forge ahead, let's define play. First, play appears purposeless, but it is vital. We do it because it feels good, not because it looks good or advances our goals. Second, play cannot be mandatory. It must be voluntary. Third, play is inherently attractive. When I look at my nephew or other kids, they don't need convincing to play. Fourth, play creates a different relationship with time. We become immersed, and hours feel like moments. Fifth, play diminishes self-consciousness. In a world where we're constantly monitoring ourselves, curating our image, weighing our words, play offers us this rare space where we can just drop the performance and be present. Sixth, play loves the unexpected. While our daily lives run on schedules and plans, play thrives when we just see what happens next. Think about all the world-changing innovations that have taken place because someone decided to see what happens next instead of following a rigid plan. Seventh, play creates a desire for continuation. Unlike activities that can exhaust us, play generates its own momentum. We've all seen how kids will completely reinvent rules of a game to continue playing. When my nephew says, "Just 5 more minutes," he isn't just avoiding bedtime. He's demonstrating that play can fuel us. And now, I'm going to invite you to experience what I've been talking about. We're going to engage in a simple play exercise together. Remember, this is completely optional. Play must be voluntary. But I really encourage you to participate if it calls to you. So I'm going to ask you to turn to the person next to you. And the person on the right will be the leader. And the person on the left will be the follower. Leaders, when I say go, just make slow, gentle movements with your arms and hands. And followers, just copy the leaders as exactly as you can. There's no right or wrong moves. Just follow your curiosity. Just no physical contact, please. And I'm going to do this with you. Let me know when 30 seconds are up. Okay, everyone, just stop for a second and swap. The followers become the leaders, and the leaders become the followers. Yeah. Okay, we're good? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So what did you notice? Some of you are still laughing, but perhaps a smile appeared without you planning it, or you shared a brief moment of connection with a stranger. Maybe some of you felt awkward, and that's okay too. Here's what the research shows us. When adults engage in regular play, they show significantly lower stress levels, and they're way more likely to engage in healthy coping mechanisms in the face of stress. And it goes deeper. Research shows that adults managing type 1 diabetes, when they play daily with their partners, they show better mood, increased emotional disclosure, and they receive more support from their loved ones. Play actually was strengthening one of their most important relationships during challenging times. We're still mapping exactly what happens in the human brain during play, but animal studies are offering us intriguing clues. Even short bursts of play triggers the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor in lab mice, which is a brain molecule responsible for motor control, a molecule that promotes brain growth, especially in areas responsible for long-term memory and motor control. So what we're seeing is that play isn't just an escape. It's a portal to our most connected, effective, and resilient selves. And here's the thing. Most of you already know how to do this. It's exploring a new city without a schedule. It's making art that you don't care about selling. Or it's taking that spontaneous road trip. It's playing just one more game of cards, or extending a trip because you're having so much fun. These aren't just indulgences. They're investments in your capacity to handle everything else. And this is only what happens when we embrace individual play. Imagine the potential when we share this collectively. When two people laugh together, their nervous systems synchronize, creating safety. When communities play together, they build resilience that helps them weather collective storms. By creating spaces where play is valued, expected, and designed into the environment, we can collectively press play on healing. And how, you may ask? If we want to create cultures where play can naturally emerge, we must design physical and psychological spaces that invite playfulness. So simply adding elements of novelty or color can shift our mindset towards play, kind of like this place. Open spaces, adding artwork that sparks curiosity, comfortable nooks where people feel safe to let their guard down. Because true play emerges when we feel safe. Safe from judgment, safe from ridicule, safe from the constant pressure to be productive. To create this psychological safety, we can start by modeling this playfulness ourselves. When leaders, parents, and therapists are willing to be silly, make mistakes, experiment without attachment to outcomes, they signal to others that, hey, play is welcome here. Next, explicitly give permission. In our performance-oriented culture, many of us are just waiting for someone to say, hey, it's okay to play. This might look like, there's no wrong way to do this, or let's just explore and have fun with this. Last but not least, remove time pressure whenever possible. Because play exists in a different temporal dimension, what psychologists call the flow state, where we completely lose track of time. When we're constantly watching the clock, true play can't emerge. So remember, we can't force play, but we can invite it. With the right conditions, our innate capacity for play, buried under years of shoulds and musts, can naturally reemerge. So, the next time you face a seemingly insurmountable problem, ask yourselves, not how do I solve this, but how do I play with this? Because the most serious problems sometimes require the least serious solutions. It's time for us to press play on healing, not as an indulgence, but as the essential medicine that we've been looking for all along. Thank you.